Hello everyone and welcome to the new tutorial. Today we'll be going over this easy but cinematic color grading look and how by applying simple tips and tricks you can level up your work significantly. So without wasting your time, let's get straight to the tutorial. Okay, first before we get into Davinci Studio, we want to make sure that our monitor settings are properly set up. So basically there are rules that we should follow. Basically go to your monitor, display settings, go down and go to the advanced display. Here you have all info about your monitor, but we want to focus on refresh rate. When you are doing a timeline in 25 frames per second and your footage is 25 fps, you want to select it to 50 Hz. Now when it's changed, keep changes. One thing that we want to do, go to system display, and I always select it to be 920 by 1200. Keep changes, and basically I do it this way if I have 25 frames per second timeline, but most of cases I am working in 24 or 23.976 and higher. I always go and select it to 60 Hz. I mean, when we change the resolution, it basically changes to 60 Hz. And this is some rules that doesn't make a lot of difference, but it's good to have set it up before starting color grading workflow. So this one of the things. Other thing that we want to keep mind of if we have these options, because most monitor don't have these options, is to select the preset for your monitor, because when color grading you want to have 100% sRGB or 100% Rec. 709 preset enabled, because of course it gives you the most accurate colors for your monitor. I'm using Asus ProArt monitor, which is 24 inch PA278 QV or something like that. Basically I always go on the buttons here and I select it to sRGB mode or Rec. 709 mode. Mostly in Rec. 709 mode, because all the footages and my timelines in Davinci are always in Rec. 709, so I want to be 100% sure that my colors are right. There are some basically differences when I did color in that and exported to YouTube, watched it, everything is good. But I switched to standard mode because I think that a lot of people are basically watching in that mode, or monitors that are not calibrated into the 100% right colors. So it can be a little bit off-leading or something like that. The exposures are maybe higher than in my shots, maybe lower shadows and all of this stuff and color grading. But and I was thinking in which preset should I even work, and I found some kind of answer that I'm gonna stick with Rec. 709 because it's the most accurate thing that we can work on. And for the other people that are really watching on their phones, TVs, monitors, so and so, but I'm gonna stick with this, be a little bit objective when I'm exposuring it, dropping it down, but you should basically stick with sRGB or Rec. 709 mode. Now, one more thing before starting and going into Davinci, we are going to transition to a new frame where I will be showing you how to set up these little things, and when you can see the difference, of course, in these such modes. So let's get straight to it. Okay, this is gonna be a quick tutorial. Basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to these buttons here, and near the power button we're gonna press this button. I mean, we are basically doing on Asus ProArt monitor, so this is options for this monitor, but it's probably similar for any kind of monitor that you're using. Then go here, press again, wait, and yes. Now we got this ProArt preset panel, and basically we want to focus on this one here, ProArt preset. These other ones you can experiment, but for the sake of tutorial we're just sticking with this. Then you want to go to here, press it, and you are now going to change your presets. This is the standard mode. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and after we change to sRGB mode, it's a little bit darker, and to Rec. 709 it's more darker. sRGB, standard, sRGB, Rec. 709. So basically, like I said, if you are doing your timeline and your editing, you want to stick up to Rec. 709 for most accurate colors, or sRGB, but if you are just casually browsing or watching some stuff on the internet, go to standard mode. Standard mode is basically the best way. So after you do that, I will go to Rec. 709 mode, press this, checker icon, and this is some reset or no, but we're just gonna go back and gonna X on that, and you are in the Rec 709 preset mode or whatever mode that you have selected. So yeah, let's get straight to tutorial. Okay, now when we understand the whole thing about the monitor and display settings and everything about that, now we can finally go into DaVinci, but we need to get in work with some project settings and settings within DaVinci. Basically, you want to go down here to this symbol and go to master settings. Simple settings, timeline resolution. I'm gonna stick with 4K because the footage is in 4K. Video resolution, full HD, it's really okay. Here working with 30 frames per second because it's the footage or it's frame rate of the footage, and video bit depth to 10 bit. I mean my monitor is in 8 bit, so I could get some color bending and some little issues, but let's say we're gonna stick with this. Next thing, we're gonna go to color management, go all the way up, and for color science we're gonna always select to Davinci YRGB. It's standard for this kind of workflow and for the work that we are doing. ACCC and ACCCT are basically for the VFX workflows when you're adding 3D objects, VFX style of work. It's basically industry standard for the VFX color science. Davinci YRGB Color Manage, never use this. Maybe it's even better, maybe not, but I have seen from other people that are using on Davinci YRGB, so we're gonna stick with that. Timeline color space, Davinci Wide Gamut Intermediate. Why? Because we have a lot of more control when doing colors, and we're gonna stick with that in comparison to Rec 709. But output color space, we're gonna use Rec 709 Gamma 2.2. You should probably get Rec 709 on here and also on the upper part. But Rec 709 Gamma 2.2 is basically standard placed by YouTube, Instagram, the most basic platforms that you will be applying and sharing your work within. So I'm not sure it's 2.2 or 2.4, but I'm always selecting on 2.2, and depends of course on the footage and the work I'm doing, but we will stay on 2.2. And for Mac users that have MacBook laptops or computers, you want to select Rec 709A. I think that this A stands for Apple or something like that, but this is the standard for people that use those type of devices. And down here you have lookup tables and you have these settings placed. We're gonna just select it to another one. A lot of beginners don't even change this and stay on the first one, but be with second one, and that's the correct way. We're gonna maybe update list, save, and we're gonna go into top left corner, DaVinci Resolve, select preferences, and going to general and select this use Windows display color management and HDR for viewers. I mean, I always selected this. This is a really important option for, like I said, Mac users, MacBook users, Apple users, because their monitors are different type of needs and calibration, colors and everything. So for them, they need to select this. But for Windows users also, I want to stick with this, so I'll check this on and save it. Now, when we have done all these changes, we can basically import our footage. I have this Ferrari raw log footage, basically raw footage, and it's from the Royal Enjoy secret sauce pack that I have purchased. And basically, he gave the log footages for us buyers to experiment with that, learn our color grading, experiment with his color grading. So there were also some tutorials that I have gathered tips from, also from a lot of other colorists and video creators. So this is gonna be basically taking all informations from all the sites and combining into one, and basically providing you my workflow that I'm working in. So first thing, we're gonna select the frame where our car is the most in focus, something like this. This is good. And like I said, the first thing that we want to do is, we can add one note because there is none. And first thing that we want to do is convert from log or raw to Sony conversion, because this footage was recorded in Sony FX3, if I'm not mistaken. But first thing that you want to always do is basically convert it to conversion the right colors, and you should get something like this. In the previous tutorials, I have explained how to do this color space transform. Basically, these are settings for the first node, and for the second node, these are the other settings. You create these two nodes, basically save it in some way. I virtually forgot I did this in ages. And you get this input that created, applied to one node, and we get this great conversion. One thing that we want to do is press Shift S couple of times. And what we do, we create nodes that are behind this node. These two nodes, we're gonna place it all the way down. And for these three nodes and all other nodes that we wanna do is, from my understanding, is because if we could add node here and then later do it all the way in this direction, basically it will be done in linear way. And what that means, in short words, basically we lose a lot of control and flexibility without colors, which we don't want. And we're converting two footages, two nodes, and we are doing exposure, highlights, and all of these things on the nodes before these two. So we're gonna go to first one. I'm gonna show you two methods that I use. Firstly, I go to global, decrease it here, something like here. To second one, we are decreasing shadows and we are getting this basic starting look. One also thing that we can try to do that I have seen from Ryan Joely, he basically selects gamma, drops it down, selects second nodes, lift, and also drops it down. I mean, it's really similar to me, but I always do in HDR color wheels. You can experiment to see which fits your best workflow. I think it's not a big deal, but for this tutorial I will be going over the basic HDR color wheels that I use 100% of my time. So we're gonna go to global, decrease it a little bit, go to the shadows. We are also going to decrease it. It's basically like applying some contrast to it, and it looks really good right now. On the second one, I always select it, right click, going to gamma, linear, and going to primary color wheels, lumen mix, dropping all the way down. So when we have done that, we want to go to the gamma and play with the colors. We're gonna drop this green and we're gonna increase the blue ones, because we are basically chasing the look from the original video. You don't need to do this look, increasing the blue ones, or just gonna increase a little bit of red. You can go to your own total way, but this looks really good with this like orange and teal, blue, some color varieties. So let's say, so basically I'm gonna stick with these two, gain, drop a bit more green to get these blues out. I'm not gonna increase this, and basically you are watching on your scopes, you're wanting this source of light, middle of light, to be in this center. This is some kind of rule when white balancing, but if you're going for something specific like this shot where we are increasing more blues and looking for that blue view, it's totally right. You need to I mean, you can go to and place it to the middle, but you need to respect your whole frame and your background and everything when adjusting this. So you don't need to stick 100% with this, but of course it's good to stay with that, to be at least 90% sure that you are doing white balance correctly. So next node that we're gonna do is add two nodes. On the first node, we're gonna apply DCTL. What is DCTL? DCTL is basically let's say a library of color plugins or some sort that storages in Davinci. So basically, not searching every single plugin, you apply DCTL, and in this panel there are all the plugins that you are using. Let's say plugins. So we're gonna apply to mono middle gray. And what are we doing here? We are looking for 18% S-curve. And what basically 18% S-curve is the reference that we work with that gives the most, let's say, gives us the most correct middle point of our lighting for our scene. So basically you're gonna apply it here on the first one and select transfer function to Davinci intermediate, and we get this a little bit light grayer, and we're gonna select the second one, go to pivot point and type 0.336 just in case. And basically you want to go to S-curves, and you have seen this line. And basically this is the most right way to do S-curve in color grading. So we can basically type on the press on this and apply a point. But what we're gonna do is select this qualifier, go here, press it, and we get this point. Now when we have done that, I'm gonna select the node before and delete it with this DCTL file. And we are having now this editable splice. You can go here and check it. I uncheck it and now check it, and basically they are providing us some handles on changing contrast of our image. So basically when we select the one, we are increasing it a little bit. The colors are really strong here. We're gonna desaturate it later a little bit. I'm gonna show you also a really good way on how to do it. But for now, this is the example of how you should do it, and it basically varies from frame to frame, from shot to shot, so experiment with that. Next one, we're going to create a new node, DCTL again, and we're going to apply IC Saturator V2. For all of these nodes, basically for all of these plugins, I will leave a link in description for you to download them, and also tutorials if I found, for example, this saturation is explained from one guy that created this, and it's a really good explanation why is this better from the classical color wheels saturation, why should you use this. So basically everything from this that I find or I don't find, basically I'll try to put it down in the description for you to see it and to download it and follow alongside my video. If I don't leave something, basically just type it. There's a lot of free variations of this. I'm talking about 18% curve. For this saturation, I will leave link down in below. So now when we have input this, we can drop it down a little bit to basically desaturate a little bit. This is after, this is like before. Maybe I dropped it too much, but something 850 is okay spot, maybe 0.9, something like that. We don't want to get our shot too much saturated to blow our viewers from all the colors that we are giving them. So you need to find some balance. Creating a new node, for the new node we can do is basically we can start working with masks. Oh no, I'm gonna just apply this mid detail to 20. What this do is basically sharpens your image to get fine edges on some parts. You can see this is a little bit muddy, and after this we sharpen it and it looks better. Some problems that I can encounter with this is that because I'm on 8-bit monitor or whatever the problem is, I get the color bending when I sharpen this, and I need to apply some method to do it. But for now, this shot we don't see any, it's darker, so we're gonna leave it like it is. Basically, I'm gonna add a new node. We can play with masks, and the point of the masks is we can shape them in any form that we want, and we want to apply it in the parts that are not important and to place it on the focus of our main subject. In this case, it's Ferrari here that is driving, and we're gonna increase on this paddle right here, feather it out, off, and we are going to go gain and drop it down to lower it a little bit. You don't want to go hard on this. This is really okay. Next, we're gonna add new masks. Maybe we want to decrease this light here. Wait a second. Feather it out, off, and drop gain like this. You have varieties of this. You get square, you get square, line, pen tool, and this like gradient type of masks. I'm gonna add new one. Maybe these lights here. We're gonna go a little bit back, decrease this, place it here, and we're gonna drop the gain. Gonna disable this, something like this, and we can track this one because we are losing this in the next frames. One thing that we can do right here is lower these highlights. Basically, I go to HDR colors. I mean, I should have done this before, but it's not a problem. We're gonna do it here anyway. Highlights, and we are basically dropping it. I'm just gonna, this is on 0, dropping it a little bit so it doesn't be so intense. We're gonna go back. You want to be sure for these lights. You can see how this we got this color, not color split, but color slipping out and dropping everywhere. So we can fix that by using color wheels and going to hue, but you don't want to change it, of course, too much. I think it changes the whole scene. If I'm not correct, yes, it changes the whole scene. So basically, we want to go to mask, select this mask, create it, and drop it down, rotate it, drop it more down. Play with feather, and we're gonna turn it off. Down here, hue, and control it a little bit. Go to tracker, track this all the way from towards end of video and to the start. We're gonna go to the here frame, add a new node, couple more nodes that we can add. One of those nodes that you can add, maybe mostly preferably in the start when you convert this is denoising. I'm not gonna do it now, but there's a quick tip for you. We are gonna go to we're gonna create a new node at the end of this too, and basically we want to do is basically we create a new node. One last mask that we're gonna add is for our main subject, or in this case this Ferrari. We're gonna make mask in his proportions. You want to feather it out, close, and we're gonna increase the gain to get more highlights and lights onto our main subject to be more in focus. We're going to track it. The track isn't always perfect, but it's also tiny details that doesn't even people won't even see it, but it gives that trick for people to maybe a little bit look more in this section than, for example, in this section or whatever. We're gonna create just one more mask, and we're not gonna complicate it. You can, when you are doing this for project, for clients, you need to take this time on this. But basically, I'm gonna add one more here, feather it out, turn it off, go to gain, and drop it down a little bit. One more. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do just one more in this part here, something like that. Turn it off, color gain, and dropping it a little bit. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that looks perfect. Basically, after we have done this, we're gonna go to the last node, conversion one, add a new node, and we're gonna basically apply a lot. These lights that you have seen here is basically from the sauce pack that I have purchased from the Ryle & Joy. And I mean, you can experiment with all the other kinds of lights. You're not gonna make mistake, but for this sake, this light is perfectly made for this type of shot, for this type of vibe of video that regards colors. So basically, we're gonna stick with this. But if you find some other free lights that are similar in colors, for example, that are bluish or something like that, I think this looks good. For example, we're gonna just try it quickly, going to gain, drop it down a lot. It looks good. But for the sake of this tutorial and whole vibe of this original video, we're going to apply the Ferrari Red version 2. And this gives us a lot of this blue that you can see. Now, we're gonna just disable it for a second. No, I'm gonna disable it. Okay, now when we apply it, we're gonna play with key output gain in this section. Go the way down, increase it, something like this. This is really okay, I'm not gonna push it too much. One thing that I maybe can experiment on is going back and find a node where I have played with gain and increase this blue color to get more vibe in that blue, red, and like this orange yellow color to increase it more. And basically that's about it. Yeah, we want to create one more important node that I always use. It's paid plugin, but it's the Hands Pro beta build that I have downloaded, I don't know, 100 years ago. Basically, there's a lot of options for film. You can choose from Kodak to Fuji to the Aylford to anyone that you like. But I'm gonna disable this. You can play it in your time. Disable this expand. It decreases some expanding of this grain or whatever it's doing. Print also Fuji and increasing these lights, Xenon film log. I'm gonna say to linear. We're gonna be basically disabling it. If you have seen these cool lights, we're gonna add it here in the halation and bloom. Film grain, I'm gonna disable it because this shot for me is really clean and I don't want to apply any grain to it. Basically, if you want to apply grain for this kind of shot, if you're really fan of grain, you can find your own overlay, add it to your timeline and experiment with setting viewing mode to overlay or screen or whatever, and practicing with opacity, dropping it down or whatever. But I'm not gonna do any film grain for this shot. I'm gonna apply halation, which gives a little bit of details and fine splits or something like that in this let's say glowy lights. It doesn't make any total difference, but we're gonna turn it on and we're gonna increase it. We're gonna select it to 16 millimeters. That's what I always use, and this is before and this is all the way up. So we're gonna find it somewhere in middle, something like this. It's okay for me. I don't want to go too much on this. So I think you have film damage, film breadth, gateway, overscan. When you use this plugin, you need to basically check the enhancer offers that they are offering, and you can try the trial version and try it for your own and experiment with it. So basically, I'm not gonna touch on anything of this anymore. There are some types that we can maybe check on this like color slice to slice some colors off. For example, I don't know, maybe increase the red, but when we increase the red, it also increases the bloom. I'm not gonna touch on this right now. Basically, maybe decreasing some more highlights, but it looks good. In some parts, it may be some lights are maybe too harsh. You can basically just add new masks. And for these lights, for example, we're gonna select it. I mean, add it here. I'm gonna decrease it to not be so hard. Press off, gain, and drop it down. I mean, you can select in the overall settings, but it's gonna affect not just lights here, but this light here, this light here, all the subtle lighting like here. So I think the best part is, and best way to do is just on going to max and camera tracking this one. So yeah, basically that's it. You can place it on here. We did one on these two, but I'm not gonna do much time on it. This is basically the principle of color grading that you should do, and we're gonna just basically compare from this log footage that was really grayish and looking really bad from this really beauty of video that we have done and color graded in the really nice way. So yeah guys, that's basically it. We have gone over all the tiny details that you need to look over for your color grading to be basically really cinematic, if I can say this word, really cinematic and really good looking way. If you have any suggestions, any comments, any things that you don't agree with me, basically just go down in the comment section, type your comments, let's start some discussions, and I will be really glad to see feedback from you. So I'm not gonna waste your time anyway. I hope that you learned something, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.